I want to thank everyone for tuning in to the Father Time Network. Hope everyone is doing well. My name is Anthony, and on this platform, I talk about the importance of being a father. I'm here to make being a father cool again. But before I continue, let's get into the intro. Today, I want to give my opinion on a story that I came across that's very, very, very tragic. I mean, this situation, man, as a parent, it really makes you feel for the children. A father finds abandoned kids living inside of an apartment by themselves. I'm going to let y'all listen to the story, then we're going to come back and talk about it.
A father himself, Jamar Johnson, tells me he felt the need to share that he heard the three kids abandoned in squalor in this Pontiac home. For 6 months, he has lived 2 doors down, and occasionally they yelled out their window to him.
They say, hey, nice car. But, and I might wave back at them, but that's it. There's no way that I could have known that they were in a terrible situation.
Johnson says, how could he know that the room the children were calling from was stacked 4 feet high with mold, feces, and trash? He says he never saw them outside, but he saw their mother, 34-year-old Kelly Marie Bryant.
She would be outside for hours and hours with a friend.
Johnson says Bryant was always in a car with a friend. He never saw her go inside, and he wonders, who was that friend? Did they know who Bryant was hiding?
She's from here, she's from there. We don't know where she resides.
So many have been wondering where Bryant herself lived while her children sat in isolation. Court documents show 2 addresses. At one of them, I talked to a woman who confirmed Bryant was living here. Were you guys living together?
Yeah.
The house is about 6 minutes away from where Bryant's children were. The woman behind the door telling me that Bryant always told them the kids were with their dad, and Bryant actually played with other people's kids. The 3 children, ages 15, 13, and 12, are currently staying with their maternal grandpa. Over the phone, their paternal grandpa, Samuel White, tells me he and the kids' father have been trying to see the kids for years.
But it just hurt because it's not the fact that she had to take them through that. Why would she do that and that wasn't the situation?
White says that he personally asked Bryant to bring the kids around. The answer was always no, begging the final question, and perhaps the biggest question, why would she do this? How are you guys coping with that?
I mean, it's sickening because it was like we wasn't running from the situation. We always asked about them. They doing all right, but it's a lot of scar there. It's a lot of scar.
So as y'all can see, this was a very tragic situation. 3 children living in an abandoned house filled with mold, feces, and trash. I mean, did y'all see how that apartment looked? Just imagine those children having to live in that environment, like purposely being placed in that environment and then being left alone. The mother is living somewhere else 6 minutes away. How do you leave your children in an apartment filled with mold and feces by themselves with probably nothing to eat, but you're living somewhere else comfortable? And then on top of that, they say she's out playing with other people's kids. The father that noticed that the kids were in the apartment, hold up. First and foremost, I want to say salute to that father. Salute to you, sir, for calling the police and reporting what you've seen. Because had it not been for you, those children may not have survived. They may have been found dead in that apartment. So first and foremost, as me being a father, I want to say salute to you, man. We need more people in the community like you. They say, oh, mind your business. Don't call the police. When you see something like that, children hanging out the window talking to you, and you never see a parent, an adult, yeah, you need to call the police. You need to call CPS. There's children involved. But he said that he would see the mother standing outside for hours talking to people. Like, yo, I just don't understand, like, what be going through people's head. You're outside of an apartment that your kids are inside of, living in feces, mold, and trash. And then you abandon them and go stay somewhere else where you're comfortable. Yo, this shit be crazy, man. You heard what the grandfather and the father said. Man, we were reaching out, asking where the kids are. Can we speak with the kids? What's going on with the kids? Now the kids stay with their father and their grandfather. The men stepped up. This woman, something wasn't right in her head. I don't know if she couldn't handle the children financially. A 15-year-old, a 13-year-old, and a 12-year-old. First of all, me personally, I don't know how the 15 and the 13-year-old didn't escape or didn't call 911 or didn't ask for help. It's a strong possibility that the mother was abusing those kids. That's probably why they didn't reach outside of the house for help. The father said, man, I've been asking about my kids, man. To all the fathers in the world, right? If you're constantly calling the mother of your children, asking to speak to your kids, and it's been months, days, weeks, years since you've seen your kids, it's time for you to hop in your vehicle and pull up. We're not going to keep calling and asking for permission to see our babies. Because one thing the mother of my children know, I'm pulling up. I'm not going to keep calling your phone, asking you a million questions about where my kid's at. I'm pulling up. Where are you at? I don't play these type of games when it comes to my babies. You're not going to isolate my kids from me. I'm not going to go days, weeks, months without speaking to my kids, because at that point, something ain't right. And as you can see in this situation, something wasn't right. I'm glad that the children got out of that situation, but me personally, I wish that the fathers would have pulled up. The father and the grandfather, who now has custody of those children, would have pulled up sooner. Because as you heard what he said, this caused damage to those children. Could you imagine what those children had to go through? And you know the sad thing about it? It wasn't even their fault. Those kids didn't ask to be here. You laid down with their father and made those children. So now when you bring those children into the world, this is the type of environment that you leave them in? Mold, feces, and trash? Yo, this woman needs to go to jail. I'm keeping it 100. She needs to go to jail. Child abandonment, child abuse, all of the above. She needs to go to jail. and see what it's like to live inside of a cage with mold and feces, where you got to wash your clothes in the toilet. I mean, because obviously she didn't see anything wrong with the way her children were living. And as you can see from the footage of the mother, something was a little off. Something was a little off. Just her movement, just how she looked, something was a little off. And I say this all the time. If you can only take care of yourself, you know for a fact that you're struggling just to take care of yourself. Don't bring no children into the world. This woman had 3 children, 15, 13, and 12. That means she had children back to back. And you wasn't trying to step your game up so you could take care of your babies? And then my whole thing is, if she wasn't living there and living somewhere else, those children probably wasn't even supposed to be in that apartment. Because who's paying the rent? Yo, man. That's a sad story, man, for real. And there's children all around the world that's living like this. This is just one that's been televised. To all the fathers, pull up on your babies, man. Don't let that woman keep detaching you from your children. Don't keep asking for permission to pull up on your children. Those are your kids. Pull up. If they not picking up, pull up. Flat out. This the Father Time Network. And I'm here to make being a father cool again.